In this video, I will show you two ways on which you can animate tables in PowerPoint. Let me show you these examples first. So our first example would be this one. There's a highlighter on the second column. So once you click, so highlighter will be moving to the next column. Okay. Our next example is this one. So the values are covered. Once you click, it will appear. So we only have used animations on this animated tables. Let me show you how to create the first animated table. So on your slide, you insert or create the table that you will be presenting. Then go to insert. Let's insert a shape. You choose the shape. Say I would choose this one, rectangle with rounded corners. And let's just cover this up. Let's trace the column. Okay. And then go to shape fill, no fill, shape outline. Let's choose a thicker outline and then change the color to bright yellow. Now the next thing that we'll do is to add animation. So go to animation, then here, click, go to motion paths, and let's choose lines. So as you can see, this shape is moving down. So we can change that. Click on effect options and choose right, because we want our animation to be moving to the right. So as you can see, we have two arrows, the red one and the green. So the green is the starting point, the red is the end point. So when you click on that, we can see two small circles. One is green, the starting point, and the other is red, which is the end point. So we want our end point to be placed on this column here, right next to the first animated shape. So we'll just drag it there. So if we preview, let's click here for preview. Okay, so that's how it will look like. Let's open the animation pane. So let's add now animation for the next columns. So click on the first animated shape and then click on add animation and go to motion paths. Let's pick lines. So again, let's go to effect options and change that to right. The next thing that we'll do is to move the starting and the end points. So once we click on this arrow, so this is the recent animation that we have just placed. So let's move this and place it here, the total raw score column. And then for the starting point animation, we'll move it here. Okay. Let's preview that. Okay, so now we will add more of the animation. So once again, you click the first animated shape and then go to add animation. Similarly, motion paths, then lines. Then go to effect options and choose right. Okay. Now let's do the moving of this starting and end points. This is the end point. It should be here under the column for MS. And then the starting point should be this one, total raw score column. Now we can add the last animation. So click on the first animated shape, go to add animation, and then let's click lines. Then to change the direction, click on effect options and choose right. So the end point is this one here. So we'll move this, drag. Let's move it here at the last column. Then the starting point should be placed just beside it. Okay. Now we can preview that. Okay. This will happen on click. Okay. Then we'll just reduce the duration or the time to 1.25. Let's watch this in the slideshow presentation. Okay. Okay, so that's our first animated table. Let's create the second animated table. So let's just insert a new slide, blank slide. Let's just copy paste the table here, Control C, Control V. So now what we're going to do is to insert a shape. So let's go to insert, then shape. I'll choose the rectangle and then just trace the row. Now let's go to shape fill. Let's choose white. Then go to shape outline, select no outline. We'll just reduce this shape. Okay, let's move this a little down. Now we can go to animations and add animations. Go to exit. I would choose float out, but you can also select wipe. So float out. You can change the direction if you want float up, but I would prefer float down. And then let me change the duration to 0.75. So let me duplicate this and situate it here. Then Control D to duplicate 3 times. Okay. So if you open the animation pane, you can see that these 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rectangles have its own animation. So let's preview that. Notice that the inner lines doesn't perfectly meet the rectangle, so we'll just move this, move it down. Okay, so let's watch this in the slideshow presentation. So notice that it's revealing the values in every row one at a time. You may have noticed that the second animated table is quite simple compared to the first one. So it will be up to you to decide whichever animation is more appropriate in your presentation.